my goodness, we have to unpack the reunion of Love is Blind UK. Crazy times. So Sabrina and Steven, we're going to start there. I felt like they were the best, amazing couple. But this is why it's so important to take the time to see if the actions align with the words. You know, Sabrina said it so perfectly when she said, you're a man of many words, but you're not of his word. And that's exactly what happened. Steven had said, they had talked about the distance between them, where she was living in Belfast and he's in London. So they're going to go half the year, together, live in both places. Well, guess what? He didn't do that. And at the end of the day, like, she was saying how she traveled 7 times to see him and he traveled twice to see her. Like, clearly she's making him a priority. That's what her actions are saying. Steven isn't. And it's massive bullshit on Steven's part. He talks about finances, and this is like actually really important to note, because when you're in like a show like that, Steven said, like, everything's paid for. He left his job to pursue love. But then, like, and so did she, and she was going to start her own agency. And he had said to her in the pods, I'm going to support you, and they're going to be an amazing team. But when they got out of the pod, they got married, now they're back in the grind, figuring out finances, and he's struggling. He's not making the money that he wanted to make or whatever. And he's not being able to support her and her dreams, even though she's killing it and made her own agency. At the end of the day, there's so much in play, because who knows if his ego got the best of him. She's killing it in her agency. He's trying to get it together. I am all for, when you're dating, for you to be self-fulfilled, to be at a job, to be financially stable and secure. And then you can show up and say, hey, who's that partner that's going to add value to my life, and I'm going to add value to your life. But if you're going to quit your job to find love and you're like at zero, like, it is hard to start picking it up again and figure your shit out financially. And you're going to bring in that stress. So yeah, the distance, he also ditched her for Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas was happening. And, I just feel like listening to them, it was so sad. It was kind of like there's so much good there, but I didn't feel like Sabrina was Steven's priority. Steven probably didn't have his shit together enough financially for his own, to feel good enough or to feel happy in his own skin or whatever the hell. But he wasn't able to show up for her because he can barely show up for himself. So my Steven, we're like, I'm over you. I can't even. And Sabrina is going to be a badass, and I'm not even worried about Sabrina. She's awesome. And so I want to go and move into, oh my goodness, Cat and Freddie. I had said, there's so many great things about them. And something that they came and talked, they spoke about on the reunion was how she was saying, she owns being snappy. Like, I'm snappy with him. And he likes to wind people up. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, wait a second. And she's just kind of like, that's just how I am. But this is where you got to own your shit and say, instead of saying, yeah, that's just how I am, you need to change. Like, honestly, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, Kat, you can just be a snappy bitch and end up with whoever. No. Like, why are you being snappy? And why are you so upset that he's winding people up? When you are secure enough in yourself and your own skin, people can mess with you, and you guys are best friend vibes. You can laugh. You don't take things so deep. And it seems to me that she is insecure. She has insecurities. She's, so any little thing sets her off. It's like a ticking time bomb. And I'm like, no, Kat, forget about Freddie. That ship has sailed. That's done. But I'm worried for Kat. I'm like, Kat, honestly, if you want to find a happily ever after amazing relationship, you need to change. Dr. Joe Dispenza says it perfectly. Change your personality, you change your personal reality. And your reality is going to be shit, Cat. It really will be shit if you don't change your personality. Don't just say, I'm a snappy bitch, or I'm just like to be snappy. Don't, because there's no reason to be snappy when you're so secure and confident in yourself. You're not going to be so short with people. You're not. And so I truly hope that Cat hears this, because it's coming from a place of love. Like, I truly think Cat's a badass and there's so many great things. But I think you listening to this can probably connect with her, because I know I was a snappy bitch before. But I would never have found my husband, Will. Like, we're married 16 years and we're having the time of our lives if I just stayed a snappy bitch. I used to be always so snappy because I was so insecure. Or, I was very judgy. I was very ego driven, and oh my God, everything would piss me off, and I was anxious. When you get into that energy of, oh my gosh, I am so worthy, I bring so much value into the world. Yes, I have my flaws, but I am a work in progress and I'm trying. And you accept people for who you are, for who they are. Like, there's a different energy that comes into your world. You start to change your personality, and your reality, your personal reality, will absolutely change. So I truly hope Kat does stop being snappy. And I hope that, Freddie keeps being who he is. Because when he says that he couldn't be himself around Kat, that's a bye-bye moment. Like when you have to be walking on eggshells around someone, that's not what love is. I always say it has to be crazy love or nothing. And crazy meaning as an acronym for a love where you can be completely real and authentically, zenfully you. So if you're not able to be yourself fully, then you're with the wrong partner. If they're not making that space for you, if they're making you feel like less than, like Kat was doing, well, shit. I thought it was just because, Kat likes, gifts, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, that could be your love language. And I like that he got her earrings and she's like, oh, that's not who Freddie is. Yeah, like not many guys do that. But when the guy makes you a priority and finds out your love language is their gifts, then he's gonna go out of his way and get you freaking earrings, rings, whatever. That's all the shit that I'm always wearing. It comes from Will, because he knows I like pretty things, and he shows love like that. It's one of the ways he shows it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like there's something happening here where, Kat and Freddie, they had so much potential. And instead of seeing that potential and saying, okay, wait, what am I doing that is falling short of being like the best partner for you? Like, instead of them doing that, they were like, no, I'm just like this. You're like that. It's never going to work. Like, that's where they failed. I feel like there was a massive lack of communication and massive lack of emotional maturity. If they were able to communicate effectively, I feel like it could have finished differently. And at this point, it's like, okay, that ship has sailed, but as long as they can learn from it and go forward, like, I hope Freddie ends up with his next partner being who he is, still winding people up for fun, whatever he does, shine his light. But also when she says, oh, I like gifts, he can go ahead and do that and not judge her for it and say, okay, well, let me show you love the way you want to be showed. Like, not have a problem with that. So it's a maturity on both ends. Oh my God, it's like we're all starting with all the fails in this freaking show. Love is Blind. Oh my God, I can't. Okay, so let's go into Sam. Oh my gosh, Sam. Like, I really wanted to like Sam. Like, I actually, it's not like I don't like the guy. Like, I have love for the guy, but it's kind of like just cringe. I'm like, Sam, oh my goodness, just say sorry. Like, he talks so much and he doesn't say sorry. Like, Demi has to say, Sam, just say sorry to Nicole. Sam said at the little mixer, we talked about this last time and I'll say it again, when Sam said, oh yeah, Nicole wants to sleep with me and I didn't. He told that to Benaya. There's no need for that. Like, that's just so immature, right? So here we are again, a lack of emotional maturity, right? So Sam, you're not alone. Like so many of the people on the cast, it's a hot mess, right? But like then Nicole said that's a lie. Like this is where I'm like, wait a second, because when Sam said it, I actually believed it could be true. Like it's not like but it was like, oh, that's possible. He doesn't have to say that if it's, but it didn't actually cross my mind that he was totally lying about it. But then Nicole said that's a lie. I'm like, ew, Sam. Like that's even more nasty. Like that is, so that is just like, what the fuck? Like how, like I just don't know what's going on with Sam to be like, let me create this lie. And like that makes me feel like he's so hurting on a deeper level. Like for him to create this narrative that's not even true just to make himself feel worthy, or it's heartbreaking. Like I actually feel bad for Sam. I feel bad for him. I feel like there's a lot of hurt there on his part. And at the end of the day, when he's on the reunion and he says sorry after Demi tells him to, like, do I believe him? Like, it's interesting when someone lies one time, like you start to lose trust. So I think that Sam is kind of digging his own grave. Like only time will tell. People do grow. Everyone's on a journey, yada, yada, yada. But like the way the reunion played out, I feel like, oh shit. Like, and I'm not here to add hate for Sam. I'm not about that. I'm just about calling people out on their bullshit. And I'm here to just say that was bullshit. Sam, let's do better. And I think that, I was in the DMs with Sam, and I feel like he's open to growth and open to being called out and open to owning shit. So that does require a level of vulnerability and maturity. So I would like to believe him and be like, let's not get on the freaking hate train for Sam. I'm not here for that. I really am here for reflecting, and maybe his story and what's happened with him resonates with you, and connecting the dots. Maybe you've been the asshole liar and like Sam, but you can change, right? So either way, at the end of the day, I love how Demi calls him out. Demi's freaking badass. I love that Nicole and Benaya are so in love. They're adorable. I love that they're just like best friend vibes, and just have a great time, and they're going to travel the world together, and that's all incredible. So whatever Sam tried to do there with his, negativity or lies or whatever, nothing got through. Nothing can break that bond between Benaya and Nicole. So like, this is why don't waste your energy on trying to hate Sam. Instead, try to be like, well, what can you take away from it? And this is like that kind of these are relationship goals. Benaya and Nicole, when they showed, oh my goodness, that reaction to their first date, when they were like, oh my God, it was the cutest thing in the world. And they were just on cloud nine, like, oh my God, like just like couldn't believe that connection they originally had. I can't tell you enough. That's how I felt when I had my first date with Will, my husband. Like it felt that way. When I got so clear on my worth and on what I wanted and what I deserved, nobody, like I would go on a date and I was very intentional. I could feel like this person isn't aligned to me. I'm not feeling it. I don't feel the chemistry. I don't feel the vibe. Nobody made it past 1 hour on a date with me ever. And so when I created this way to date, Will was the first guy that made it past 1 hour. He made it 8 hours. It was 5 p.m. on happy hour in Miami, Scotty's, and we left at 3 a.m. And yeah, we didn't have sex, you guys. We just talked the whole time, having the best time, and we kissed at the end of the night. But I'm not good at math, but however many hours that is. So what I'm saying is that like it was a crazy energy of like, how is this possible? It's so easy. It's like I've known you forever. We're so aligned, and we're celebrating 17 years married this December. And so when I saw Benaya and Nicole that first, how they felt after their date, that's how you should feel when you meet your person. Like that is how you should feel. But how do you know that? You got to go into conversations really intentionally and having healed your own shit. So it's not like you're looking for someone to make you happy. Like that's where I feel like Sam came in. It felt like he was missing, that love for himself. He was missing, like he wasn't fully happy, and he was hoping someone would fill that void for him. And this is that misstep where I feel like a lot of us have done, where you put yourself out there and you just want someone to just adore you and love you and make you happy, but you got to do that for yourself. And so like this is where I have so much love for Sam, honestly, because I know that feeling when you're not 100% with yourself, you're not fully happy, you haven't healed your shit, and you're putting yourself out there. So it's like, you're just setting yourself up for failure, and for heartbreak. And unfortunately, Sam's shit is like, all over the internet, and people are kind of crazy. I had to block someone the other day. Oh my God, people are just kind of getting nasty. Like, what is wrong with people? So yeah, I'm not here for the hate. Okay. So I don't want any of that. Don't get in my DMs and be nasty. I don't want to hate Sam. I don't hate Sam. I want to talk a little bit about, oh my gosh, Bobby. I love Bobby. And the way that he says, if my wife is happy, I'm happy. Like literally that's what my husband Will lives by. He's like, happy wife, happy life. Like, and he truly means that. And I feel like if you're not able to do that, like as a partner, and feel that, like you're not ready for marriage. Like I love showing up in my marriage where to see Will happy, like it has to be genuine. And it feels that way with Bobby and Jasmine. Like they adore each other and they only add value to each other's lives. They believe in each other so much. And it's so evident. And now they're thinking about kids and trying for kids. I think it's the cutest thing ever. But it's so clear that they are each other's priority and they're each other's best friend. And like, that's it. Like that has to be on your list of like, as you're dating with intention, go about it that way. And something that Jasmine mentioned on the reunion that was so good and so important is how she listened to her intuition. And I feel that, you have experienced shit. You've experienced toxicity. You've experienced, people letting you down, disappointing you, manipulating you, whatever. Awesome. This is when you can lean into that intuition. When something doesn't feel good for you, if something feels like, that doesn't feel right, or that feels like a lie, doesn't feel honest, that doesn't feel genuine, you've been through a lot. You got to honor that journey. And the way to honor that journey is to honor that intuition. And so when Sam was talking to Jasmine and Jasmine just didn't fully believe him and trust those feelings that he said he had, she said, bye-bye time. And I'm all about the bye-bye, you know that. And so I love that she was saying women's intuition is powerful. And so Nicole, you saw it when he proposed and he was like, oh my God. I know. I feel, every time I try to be like, okay with Sam, I remember about more shit that he said. Your brown eyes are so boring, or your boring brown eyes. It's just so cringe. And either way, Sam proposes and Nicole was looking at him like he could feel like something was off. Like Nicole knew something was off. And then he says, I think I love you. And at the reunion, okay, this is the last time I talk about Sam. I can't help it. Because at the reunion, Sam says, yeah, love is a big thing. And I'm not going to just say that. So I said, I think I love you, but I meant like, I think I'm falling in love with you. Either way, Sam, it's bad. Because first of all, proposing is a big deal. Like, why are you proposing to someone that you're not in love with? So that I feel like doesn't make any sense to me. And I just think that Sam was just struggling so badly on the reunion. Yeah. And I feel for the guy. I'm like, oh, Jesus. But Nicole, if you notice, her response is like, oh shit, this isn't right. So I'm not surprised that she was like, I'm not going to Greece with your ass. I don't trust your ass. Like, I'm so happy that she listened to that intuition that Jasmine was already listening to in the pods. and went with her gut and went with Bobby. And I love that her mom, Jasmine's mom, was at the reunion and said she's like 110% for Bobby. I love that she was able to, put her worries aside and her bullshit aside and, her pain ultimately. It's like your own hurt, your own jaded things, it makes you jaded, right? She put it aside for her daughter and trusted her daughter enough to make the right decision for her life. And I'm like, it was just so awesome to see the mom come around. Because, some parents could be like, no, and like, be very stubborn and never give that partner a chance. So I appreciated Jasmine's mom really like putting her ego aside, and it's not about her being right. It's about her wanting Jasmine to be happy. And so that was so freaking cute. I love them. Okay, and I have to talk about all these people, but the last one. No, because this is crazy. Oh no, and I have to say this before I forget. Stop. Steven says we lost our spark with Sabrina. Oh my God, stop. You guys, I can't tell you enough how that's like the biggest load of shit. Like, it is such bullshit. The whole spark thing is bullshit. Let me just start there. Like, I agree there's chemistry, right? But when you have that connection with somebody, it is completely up to you to continue to nourish and nurture that relationship and show up for each other and make that a priority. And so it's not like you wake up every day and you have a spark up your ass. You're like, I'm so in love with you. You're my priority. No, like, fuck you, Steven. No, you have to actually make a conscious decision and say, I have chosen you, like your freaking vows, and you're a priority for me. You're my number one priority. And you choose to put that effort in. So like literally, Will and I, we have 2 little girls, but we made it a point that we go on a date every week. We always have been doing that since my kid was 7 months old. We always make each other a priority. We always go on vacations. We always do our thing, always nurture that. And it's not like you just wake up and it's just there. You have to choose it. And then in doing those dates and taking that time, you always keep falling deeper in love and reminding yourself, oh my God, how blessed am I? Like, how blessed, this is insane. This is my best friend I get to live my life with. I'm getting emotional talking about it. Because like it's like such a blessing and I'm so grateful. But you have to make that effort of like, you make that decision. It's a decision that you choose and you show up for that person. They're a priority. And so Steven needs to learn that. So yeah, Steven, like I completely was team Steven and Sabrina. But hearing Steven say that on the show, on the reunion, I'm like, Steven, you're so clueless. Like, oh my God, you're going to like die a lonely old man. Like, honestly, if you don't actually realize your part in this, like there's no way in hell that he's going to meet someone like Sabrina. Like, I just don't believe it. Like, I feel like Sabrina was amazing and Steven didn't prioritize her. And I don't think he'll ever prioritize anybody. I think, I just feel like if that failed, is like, forget about it, Steven. And so, yeah, no, I know that kind of triggered me. Like, I was like, I have to talk to you guys because so many of you guys I know are like, oh, it's about the spark, la, la, la. Like, no, it's not. It's not about the spark. Okay, and the last one I want to talk about is Demi and Ollie. Okay, I don't like Ollie. I know. It's just like, can I just say that? Does anybody else agree with me? I don't like him. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of Ollie. I just get like douche vibes, I do like, though, however, that he said, hey, all the women I've dated in my past are like Demi. They're not like Cat. So that was nice, I guess. I have no idea. But the way that he speaks, the way that he is, I'm not a fan of him. I just don't trust him. Like, at the end of the day, I just don't trust him. And I love Demi. And so when she was talking, like, she's a badass. She was talking about endometriosis and how she had to be vulnerable about that and share that. And I want people to be inspired by that and lay your shit out there in the beginning vulnerably, and the right person, like you're only going to scare away the wrong people. So like I appreciated Ollie for connecting with her and blah, he embraced her and accepted her and loved her, la la la. But like him talking about Charlotte and how they've hooked up and have been talking, I just get slimy vibes from Ollie. Like he was all about her during the mixer, saying that she's so hot or whatever it was. Whenever, I don't know what mixer it was, whichever. But during, the show, he was like all about how hot Charlotte was. Like that alone is so disrespectful to Demi. And he just lost my respect, and I just don't trust his ass. And so he tries to play this part of like such a good guy and yada yada bullshit. And so Demi, I love how she's Demi 2.0. She's killing it. She looked absolutely gorgeous. She's a ray of light, honestly. And I don't like Ollie. So let me know in the YouTube comments, you guys. Are you with me? Are you agreeing? What do you not agree with? Are you like on team like Sam? Like, how do you feel about Sam? And don't tell me you hate him. Like, I just don't want any hate, okay? But be like, I want to hear from you guys. Do you also agree with Kat, how she can change her personality? It would change her personal reality. Like, do you feel that way? Do you agree with the whole spark? Like, we talked about things that are really important, that really can connect with you guys and help you on your journey, so, and inspire you. So Steven, I want to know, like, do you feel like Steven didn't make Sabrina a priority? What did you take away from that? How much do we love Bobby? Like, isn't he adorable? And the body of a dancer. Like, I haven't put that song on my playlist. I don't think I will, but I feel I just adore him and Jasmine together. It's just so freaking cute. And oh my God, Maria. I almost forgot about Maria. Hello, stop. And Tom, they were on the reunion. And what she said, I have to set it straight, the record straight, that I don't expect a guy to pay any bills or buy me luxury. I'm like, why not? Like, wait, why? I'm serious, you guys. Like, I'm confused. I am. I'm like, really, like, what is wrong with entering into a relationship? Like, you're a badass, independent woman who makes your own money, and you don't need anybody. You don't need any money from anything, right? Anybody. Okay, perfect. But you're in a relationship with someone who shows their love by buying you something pretty. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, I actually don't understand what's wrong with that. Like, there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. And so, yeah, like, paying bills is different too. Like, never are you going to be dating someone and be like, oh yeah, you're paying my internet and my electricity and my mortgage. That is weird. But when you're going into a marriage or a serious relationship and you're living together, you're a team. Freaking, like, literally, Will and I have one bank account. Like, we shared bank accounts. And so, like, you're a team. Like, it's not like this is mine and this is yours. Like, it's really not like that. And so Maria's saying, hey, just set it straight. I don't expect anything. But why not? Like, honestly, like, why is that getting looked down upon? I just think that the way that Tom twisted it is so wrong. Like, he's off base. Like, he doesn't get it. Like, he doesn't listen or doesn't communicate effectively. But you can be both. Like, you can be a badass independent woman who makes space for the generosity of a freaking man to treat you to dinner and treat you to ice cream and surprise you with a present for your birthday or an anniversary. Like, all of those things can happen at the same time. It can all be true. It's like the way that Tom says it is like, oh, it's you're either independent or you're relying on a man to pay for dates. Wrong, Tom. And so, I will give Tom this. The way that he kind of was owning some of it on the reunion was nice. He was kind of like, I have a lot to learn and grow. But when Maria said, hey, you saying what you said about, my mom is like offensive to the women in my family. And he never apologized. I literally was like listening in. I'm like, Tom, where's the fucking apology? He was kind of like, yeah, the way that I said this, I thank you. I'm learning. I'm just like, shut the fuck up and say sorry. Like, is it really that hard to say, sorry, I'm an asshole. Sorry, that was so stupid, small-minded, short-sighted, whatever the hell. Like, yeah, whoopsies, that fucking sucks. That was dick move. And he was raised by a single mom, and he was talking about that. I'm like, why isn't he seeing that? Maybe he was so nervous at the reunion, he doesn't even realize how he missed that. But, like, I'm not here for Tom. Like, I'm like, it's interesting how being on this journey with Love is Blind UK, I've like loved them, hated them. Some of them, I don't hate them, but you know what I mean? Don't like them, don't trust them. But for the most part, what's so important for you guys to take away from this is time will show you, do the actions align with the words? You can say all you want on the other side of a wall and, oh my God, everything's perfect, la, la, la. But then when you see each other, it's not so much about seeing each other and that changes everything. It's about time together and how do they consistently show up for you. Are they actually a man of their word or a man of many bullshit words? Like, this is where you have to make sure to take time and not rush. That's why I'm super not about rushing into bed with somebody. I literally tell my clients that. I say, wait 1 month at least, and you have to be exclusive to have sex. And that means anything more than kissing, because everyone's like, oh, I can dry hump, oral sex. I'm like, no, nothing. Like, just wait. Because at the end of the day, that first month when you're really connecting, emotionally connecting and seeing if you're aligned, oh my God, you guys, you'll have the best sex forever after that. But that beginning, I want you guys to have clarity. And when you're too busy having sex and your hormones are all going crazy and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, you will put the blinders on and you will miss out on perhaps the fact that they're a freaking douchebag. So this is where, take shit slow. This is also probably part of the problem with Love is Blind, is that they all go have a honeymoon, all having sex like day 1, day 2. Like, it's kind of crazy. I love the show. Don't get me wrong. Love is Blind. I love it. But I do feel like you change the order of events, like propose, get married, live together and have sex. Or you know what I mean? Like, change it around where you, wait a second. I actually want to get this right. Talk to each other across the wall, then they move in, then they actually, move in together. Well, that'd be good. Move in together, but no sex. Can we do that? Right? No sex. And then you see like a month getting together, talking, no sex, living together, meeting each other's family and friends, and then have sex, get married. Yeah, for sure have sex before marriage though, because I'm not for the whole waiting until after getting married, because it might be a total shit show. So that's important. What do you guys think of that plan? Can we do that format for Love is Blind? Let me know if you like that idea. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you. And remember, it has to be crazy love or nothing. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know if this is resonating with you. And reach out to me on Instagram, @JkL&x, so we can talk more about it. See you next time. Thank you.